The implementation of the new Energy Levy Act 899 could mean consumers will be paying more than the 59.2% electricity tariff increase by the Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission, the PURC. Joy News checks reveal the PURC has directed power retailers to charge some additional cost to consumers. There's an additional 5% increase approved by Parliament for a street light levy and another 5% increase for the national electrification charge. In addition, consumers pay a regular monthly service fee ranging from 6.33 Ghana cedis to about 60 Ghana cedis, depending on the quantum of consumption and user classification. So cumulatively, as indicated by the Trade Unions Congress, the TUC, the increments came up to around 75.12%, a reason organized labor is calling for a total scrapping off of the Energy Levy Act 899 2015. There is more here on Joy News. Just stay glued wherever you are. We'll bring you details of that. Meanwhile, talks between government and organized labor over recent utility tariff hikes and a new tax resumed at the Flagstaff House on Thursday, a day after nationwide protest against them. The unions, which took part in the meeting, say government has tabled new proposals for their consideration. The unions in the last few weeks have been demanding that government reduce utility tariffs and completely scrap the energy sector levy. Thousands of Ghanaian workers, mostly members of the organized labor, hit the streets on Wednesday to protest the tariff hikes and the new tax, which has caused a 28% increase in the prices of petroleum products. General Secretary of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union, Solomon Kote, who was part of the 2-hour meeting at the Flagstaff House Thursday, says it was positive.
Indeed, it is refreshing. It's the signals of good things to happen. It's signals
of good things to happen from the meeting?
From the meeting, obviously. Because if you had a position where it was very difficult for government to do what they are doing now, the backing down, and for labor also to show commitment, obviously we also have to do some shiftings in order to bring us to a conclusion. I would say there have been a fundamental shift of both positions, and we've made such a tremendous and monumental progress. We believe reconverging again on Tuesday, that is coming Tuesday, we should be able possibly maybe be drawing conclusions on these particular negotiations. Some considerations ought to be made by both sides as we are going to concourse. They are going to consult. We are equally also going to look the considerations with our larger body. But from where we are as labor and with the experience we have, we believe we are getting closer to the issues on hand than before.
Okay. If we say we are getting closer to the issue at hand before, generally from the start of this process, how has it fared for you, looking at today's crucial meeting with government?
Well, the admission from government side to say that they are not oblivious of the cry of the Ghanaian populace and the stance of labor, and for them also to have exhibited that this is a social democrat government who is willing to, picked up with compassion with the cries and suffering of the masses of this country. Obviously, that is an eye-opener, together with the detailed explanation supported with figures as to what is happening to the economy right now, especially with the issue of the doomsday. If we really don't want to see it resonating again, okay, that actually pushed labor also to have a second look on our stance that actually we took.
I'm sure at this point you would confidently say that at least the demonstration yesterday was what propelled government to shift its stance now.
Indeed, greatly it has paid off, because if these stance were expressed in our earlier meetings, I don't think the demonstration will have come on at all.
So we are hoping that by Tuesday we should be making some headway with regards to this negotiations.
Well, we are very hopeful, but it will all depend whether or not government is also coming with a posture that will shift a little bit from where they are today.
Okay, so you are hoping that by Tuesday government will make another move again?
Sure.
Oh, I see.
Then obviously we will also make some shift, because where we are and where they are, there should be some additional shifts.
Compromise.
Yes, some additional shift to at least at the end of the day. The fear is about this doomsday situation, because everything is zero on that if they don't get the required revenue okay, to sustain the Dumso element. Then it's like we'll be going back to square one. And the fear of losing job, the fear of our theater lights going off, the fear of banks not having even confidence in the system, and so on and so forth. So Labour now is also going to look at these particular moral elements and structural elements of the economy and be able to take a decision that will keep Ghana going.
Now, a police officer who shot and killed a murder suspect and one other person at Majo here in Accra on Thursday has been put behind bars. Sergeants Adoye opened fire at Adesha Babagi and Joseph Ajay during an attempt to arrest them.
The victim, Adesha Bagaji, was suspected of murdering an unnamed man during the Teshi Homo Festival in August last year. The Accra Region Police PRO ASP Ifiatenge briefed the media on the incident.
In order to prevent further clashes and for the maintenance of peace and order, the police advised both factions to celebrate the festival and the sprinkling of Kwekpele in their respective homes until the chieftaincy dispute is fully resolved. However, on the 26th of August 2015, while celebrations were ongoing at the chief's palace, the same opposing faction who had engaged the chief in a previous confrontation armed themselves with offensive weapons, including machetes, knives, and missiles, and they attacked one person by name Sule Musa, killing him in the process. The police was able to arrest 5 of the suspects and arraign them before court. The court issued warrants of arrest for 5 others, including one Adesha Begaji, but all attempts to cause the arrest proved futile. Yesterday, that is the 20th of January 2016, the police received information that the said suspect, Begaji, was being harbored by one Joseph Ajay at Majo, a suburb of Accra. The police, led by the investigator in this case, proceeded to the location, and at about 1:30 a.m., when the police proceeded to the location and in the process of effecting his arrest, the main suspect and the person harboring him allegedly attacked the police with a machete and an axe.
She also said the police have opened investigations into the matter while the police officer remains in custody.
The police officer whose action caused these fatalities has been detained in accordance with police regulations and standard policing practices. Investigations under the leadership of the regional crime officer have been initiated into the incident. As currently, a team of investigators and crime scene experts are at the scene of the incident. And then again, the families of the deceased have been contacted to assist police with further investigations.
Elsewhere, the executive director of the Narcotics Control Board, NACOB, Yao Akresi Sapong, has asked civil society groups to take on governments for not passing laws that help reduce drugs circulation and impact on society. Speaking at a regional consultation on drug policy reforms in West Africa, Mr. Akresi Sapong stated civil society groups will have to interrogate measures put in place at regional and national levels to deal with drug production, use, trafficking, and organized crime.
There is no law on methadone. There's no law on what? Needle syringe, needle exchange, needle syringe exchange program. There is no. But do you need a law for harm reduction? Challenge the status quo, contest it in court in Ghana, because the Constitution says that health is the right of all. If health is the right of all, then if there is no law that makes harm, that legalize harm reduction, that is an illegal act silence. It must be challenged in court. We are not challenging these things in court. Even those who are involved in a judgment debt, they challenge government in court. How much more those of us who are on the side of history that health is people's rights? I want to challenge you. It's very, very important. You know, I mean, I'll be called to the bar in late March or early April. And I intend to go to court about this matter for interpretation. What does a right to health mean? It means that if government is not passing certain laws, we must insist that government passes those laws. Because silence is illegal. Yes, silence is illegal. It's important. I mean, these are matters which, when you go like, you think people ask, you think the white man asks Kwame Nkrumah that you can start, or the white man asks the Mao Mao, you can start a war. It's not possible. Today we take for granted our independence. We forget that there was a struggle. And that is the new wave of struggle. The other thing that I'd like to say is that, given the context of imperialism, civil society organizations in West Africa must be very careful. You must carve your own message and stop messages that are carved from West. Your messages must be contextualized. Your messages must be African. Your message must be West African. No matter how dictatorial government policies may be, there's a day when the people's voice will rise. And the people's voice is that drug policy must change. It will not change from that point. It will change. Civil society is taking the lead, but begin also to allow local communities to begin.
That's a big challenge there. We'll see how civil society responds. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana is expected to meet the media next Monday to announce whether or not it will be increasing the policy rate, which currently stands at 26%. However, speaking with Joy Business, Managing Director of InvestCore, Samson Agliko, intimates, considering the current economic instability and drop in commodity prices on the world market, the Bank of Ghana will increase the policy rate, which will automatically affect the cost of credits.
I think that recent developments in the economy, especially increases in utility prices, quite significant, and also increase in fuel prices will certainly influence the inflation outlook, and of course the policy target horizon. So clearly we should see interest rates remaining elevated. I see the monetary policy likely to tighten interest rates, or actually, if of course it is clear that this is a one-off event. If they are more comfortable with that, they could keep the rates steady. But we should not expect interest rates to decline in this environment. The interest on deposits really serve a different function. And of course, if you understand the way the banking sector works, you don't expect typically interest on deposits to be high. What we have seen, the trend you've seen in the market recently is that fixed deposits have been turned into investment options, and rates on them have tended to be very high. And I think that if that is what you are leading to, then clearly you will see that the fixed deposit rates, especially of non-bank financial institutions, which, savings and loans, finance houses, have tended to be very high, which reflects, of course, demand and supply of money.
Several pedestrians have found an alternate route to cross the Kanishi-Malam Highway rather than using one of two overhead footbridges constructed to facilitate passage to and from both sides of the road. The pedestrians use a gap created by a broken wall beneath the footbridge to cross to the other side despite the danger. Lord Edu Asari has the rest of the details.
This is the Kanishi footbridge, which has been constructed to help pedestrians cross the road effectively or safely. Now, behind me is a hole which has been somewhat created. I don't know whether it's by the pedestrians or it just broke over time. I realize that lots of people have been passing there instead of using the footbridge. Now, I'm going to be speaking to a number of pedestrians who use that hole frequently. You are in a hurry to go and use the hole over there. Why are you using here and not the overhead?
Okay, this place is hard to pass this place, but if you pass here, it's easy.
How do you?
Because it's not all of them can climb the overhead. Yeah, mostly those old women and men, they usually pass this place. Yeah.
Okay, but you are not an old man. You are very fit and strong.
Yeah.
So why are you using this place and not overhead?
Okay, I think this place is short for me.
Aren't you worried that you could get hit by a car? Because, I mean, it's a busy street.
Yeah. I know that something like that can happen. But what can we do? We don't have any choice.
I want to get here as fast as I can. And then my legs, I get tired when climbing the overhead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what, is it that it is too high? What exactly is wrong with the overhead?
Yeah, it's too high. It's too high.
But how about your safety? Aren't you worried that you could get knocked down by a car?
Yeah, so I make sure there's no car coming before I cross. Yes.
You see, say everybody is passing there. So old woman is passing there, young man is passing there. So me too, I go fit pass there.
Everyone uses the overhead bridge. The lazy ones are those who cross from here. The wall broke down over a year ago, but the authorities haven't fixed it. Occasionally, they patch it up, but it is removed again. A girl got knocked down by a speeding car, but the driver sped off because he said the girl shouldn't have used the road.
This is what it looks like at night here at the Kaneshi footbridge. Like you saw earlier, a number of pedestrians opt to use this hole within the wall as an exit point to get here. As scary as it may look, they are ready to risk it all, not minding that there's a footbridge up there, which is safer, by the way. I'll be speaking to some of them to find out exactly why they are doing this, because this is dangerous.
There are thieves on the overhead bridge who attack us at night when we are returning from work, and they take our wares.
Once it was really shaking, and then we were like, when it's windy or something, as if the bridge is coming to fall. So normally when I'm using, I normally even use the bigger one instead of this smaller one. Okay. And then I always get scared when I see those kids passing through that small thing over there. I think something should be done about it. Okay. The authorities has to do something. At least the police, the personnel, and those, they can be here in the evening to watch all these things.
If I pass here, I'll go fast.
You go fast?
Yes.
So you prefer the short but dangerous routes to the long but safe one?
Yes.
Why? You know if you pass here,
yes,
you could get knocked down by a car, right?
Yes.
And you still want to pass it?
Because if I pass this place, my leg is paining me. So I want to pass here and go fast.
Genius minds right there, if you like genius pedestrians. But that's a beautiful piece, an award-winning piece. My colleague, Lord Edwasai. Really? Why would you want to risk your life for that? But this is a question that I want to ask. If you were driving on that stretch of road and you saw somebody pull out of that hole and you hit the person, would you stop as a driver or not? Right now, in the next 2 minutes, send me WhatsApp 0560 800,000, 0560 800,000. I am pretending that the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has not seen that hole for the whole time that it's been there. So people will continue to cross it. With that said, that's it for the AM News. We've got more. Just log on to myjoyonline.com. We'll be visiting the page pretty shortly to check out what headlines we have. But let me get on to some of your messages. This one reads, "Hi, Mama V, may the good Lord be with you. Ghana, we have to be one of the richest countries, but because our leaders are greedy, we'll continue to be poor. Only God can save us." And it's from George in Kumasi. George, be helpful. I mean, it's not so bad. And this person says, "I like your costume. I am up and ready to go to work, whether good or bad. I know God will do it again. Siyabonga Jesu." That's the music that we brought to you. It's from Ginia Marino at Asari Bidiako, SHS in Accra, Kerry. And you're always watching us. We're grateful. Make sure you're not late to work, though. This message says, "That is why I like your station. Look at the song you began with. Very inspiring. Keep it up. God be with you, Mama V, and your colleagues. It's from Costa Paga. God be with you too. Thank you for all the good wishes that you send us every day. This one says, Mama V, I want to know whether TUC has declared a nationwide strike, because yesterday some teachers at Sefi Bodi did not go to the classroom. Their stance was that the TUC had declared a strike from Morocco in Sefi Bodi. Well, Morocco, there's no strike. Yesterday they met with government and they say from the meeting, it sounds good. As far as I know, no strike action has been declared. Hi, good morning, Mama V. It seems government is so insensitive to the plight of Ghanaians. If the ongoing negotiations fail, then we have to adopt Plan B in November 7. Hey, Arsenal 1, Chelsea 2 this Sunday from Aigogo Stephen in China, like all angles, really. The meeting was positive, they say. I've got details of that to share with you here on the show, so don't think strike yet. Good morning, Mama V. Labour leaders went to Flagstaff House to drink thick tea and their minds changed. This is from Moro in Alajer. Amazing. Mama V, tell Muhammad that if he will not listen to anybody in this country, I beg him, he should take this advice from Vinyo and reverse the country now. What legacy are you living for Ghanaians? You alone have changed destinies of this country. Okay. You didn't include your name, but thank you very much. Or Vinyo, I guess that's your name. Thank you for the message that you've sent. Good morning, family. You can climb higher, reach further, and achieve greatness if you harness every ability and resource available to you. Hashtag Ahomka Inspiration. When I come back, hopefully we'll have the headlines to share with you. Stay with us. You're still watching The AM Show.